Have you ever wanted to collect coins because it's fun to collect stuff, but it was too fucking lame and you wish there was some kind of like criminal activity associated with your hobby so that way you could like tell people that you're a criminal, but kind of like in a funny way and then actually tell them that you're just like collecting coins and it's not that big of a deal and then you have like a little laugh about it and it makes you unique? Well, I got quite the hobby for you. This is called squishing pennies and kind of committing crimes. So here's the awesome funny thing about the penny press machine. I made that 2 years ago now. I got sucked into my senior design project, and then I was working on my project for this year's open sauce, which I wanted to work with my friends. And so I never actually got the chance to complete the penny press video or even update it for next year's open sauce. So here I am now trying to bridge together huge gaps in what I recorded 2 years ago and make a video that's like entertaining for the internet. So if things seem like a little, I don't know, like random and crazy and my hair color changes and I look completely different between shots, that's why. So this is a penny press machine. They come in all different kinds of variants. You can get them in wood, metal, zebra, birdhouse, or even bridge variant. But basically the idea is you take a penny, put it in the machine, and turn the crank. And then it squishes it and outputs one of these designs. You can get a buffalo, a burger, a frog, basically every single design that you can think of. It's pretty cool. But every single time I talk to people about this, they act like this guy. Are they illegal? I don't want to get arrested and go to jail. Well, let's go ahead and look at the laws. Oh shit, they're actually making it pretty clear that it is illegal to deface currency. But they do say fraudulently. This isn't fraudulent. I'm not defacing it and making it look like anything else. It looks like a freaking buffalo on there. And I'm not kidding about the burger. Who's gonna fraudulently think that that's a real coin? Not me, not anyone else. So, let's ignore that for now. One thing that I can't get over, and my whole life I've been looking at this, the penny presses look kind of straightforward. All we got is a handle that goes into this crazy gear ratio and moves what's called a rolling mill. Basically, you put metal on one side, the rolling parts of it squish the heck out of it and spits it out a little thinner. And if you just put a design on the roller, heck, you can put any design you want on there and it squishes it onto the penny. It doesn't look that complicated. And I think, honestly, I could probably make one of these. And then I can take it to William Osmond's open sauce and he's gonna go, that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna go, yeah, it is.
1 week later.
So I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is I got the university to pay for my project. Because it teaches a manufacturing process, the manufacturing professor was interested in making the design, especially if it outputs the amount of force that is pushed onto the rollers, onto the pennies. The bad news is I went and talked to the machinist that we have on staff at the university, and he told me that I'm probably not going to be able to do it within one semester, which is what the university is willing to pay for. The reason is that an entire gearbox with that kind of gear reduction is gonna take more than a semester to make. It's just gonna. But one thing that I could do is purchase a jewelry rolling mill that already exists online. They're typically made to like roll jewelry or make necklaces or something stupid, I don't know. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna purchase it, take it apart, modify it, use the gearbox that's already included, and put it inside of my penny press machine. And so that's what we're gonna fucking do, I guess.
All right, so here's the update as of fuck. I'm sitting here measuring tons of pennies to see how they change in thickness, how they change in size and width and everything to put it into my CAD model so that way I have a good idea of what the rollers on the mill are supposed to look like.
So here's my logo, and I need that logo to fit in that circle, which is really easy, but I just think it's funny because I thought it was originally going to be that big, and it's not that big. It's actually going to be about that big, because if I squish it that much thicker, it actually makes it that much easier to press, which seems like a lot. We'll see how bad that really is. Basically, as soon as I had the design on the rollers, I started sending it to a bunch of different job shops in the area, trying to get quotes. And as they were coming back, they were crazy expensive. So I started to reach out to other companies that may not specialize in this, or very specialized companies that have laser engravers and stuff like that. And as I was waiting for those specialized and not specialized quotes to come back, I realized that I needed to start working on something else in order to get this project done on time. So I started jumping into the electronics and getting the Arduino working, getting the Raspberry Pi working, figuring out how to use Python. So that's what I jumped into next. All right, I finally got an example code working. Ignore the low power voltage. That's just, that's more of a guideline. That's more of nothing. But right now, it's graphing nothing. It's graphing noise. It's graphing meaningless data. But when I click this button, it shows me the data, closes it, and then I click the data again, and it starts over, shows the data all over again, which is going to be analogous to the sensor on the guy unstarting and starting over and starting on and starting over, and it turning on and off is going to be that. Yeah, that made sense. I don't care if that doesn't make sense. This took 4 or 5 hours, and I haven't eaten yet. Look at it go. Yay. All right, just real quick, I need to come up with a bridge between this video and machining the first part. This little part here is a adapter for the load cells that will be mounted onto the penny press machine. The only issue is I bought the load cells from China, so they took a long time to ship. So in the meantime, in order to get this project done on time, I needed to make the adapter so that way I had it ready for assembly when it finally showed up. So let's jump into a documentary about how this was made.
There's no way any of this is going to be usable, but I'm machining the adapter part right now to the correct diameter so that way this can hold onto the load plate, the load cell, without damaging anything. And right now it's going great. We're almost to the diameter that I want, and I will check back in once this is complete. There's definitely no way any of this video is useful, but now I'm drilling a hole through the center so that way there's milk. I took this video, but I did it in this way, and that way sucks. So here's my part. Still gotta clean up the back of it, but there she is, baby. All right, last thing, we're gonna make the back half of it the right dimension so that way it's what it is on my drawing. Here it is, it's all set up, and let's do it.
Edge finder? I hardly know her. Got him.
So fun fact, I finished the part, but the screws are not going to fit between the wall and that hole. So we're completely starting over, making a new design that instead of having this lip on the inside is just going to be thick all the way through. Think about things twice before you fuck them up, guys. That's the lesson here, kids. Catch you on the flip side. me when your mom. Would you believe me if I told you I just like jammed this in there without it running? Just all the way through without even trying? Because if you did, you'd be stupid. I turned it on first. I forgot to say it, but
Edge finder again. I hardly know her again. Fucking nice, dude. Got him again. 2 in a row. Oh, I almost dropped it.
Let's have video evidence of me fucking this up. Mode. Run. Go. Start. Go. Load tool. Go. Oh! Oh, it did it. Whoa, that is not flat. Did you see how much that moved? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I gotta edge find again. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Shit.
She's not as, like, sexy looking, just because it's, like, more of a lame part, but that's it. It's gonna be cut in half twice, and then it's gonna be that, but better and actually work. Let's go! Kinda looks like a face. Oh!
Alright, so we redesigned this part because we were worried that the screw wouldn't fit in those holes. So we redesigned it to use more aluminum, and now, obviously, if I put it in correctly, it fits, right? Like, wow, perfect. You know, no big surprises there. But then we were like, man, you know, I wonder if it will fit in here. Yeah, it fits. We wasted time. We're still gonna go with this design because it's simpler and simple is better, but Damn. All right, fuck me. Right, I'm running from the machine shop. That's the machine shop over there, because I'm gonna be late for office hours, but I got the parts done. You can't see it there. I got the parts done. There they are. They're countersink, and that's not the side that's countersink, so you can't see it. There's the countersink, it's on the bottom one. So that's looking good. And now we need to, I need to connect it to the load cells, which should be coming in the mail anytime now. And if they are coming in the mail soon, then I'm gonna put them on right now.
1 week later.
So I'm literally filming this on a trash can because I don't have a desk. But the load cells arrived in the mail and everything is good. And the holes line up. Hi. And the holes line up just fine. It's kind of hard to see, but they line up. The only issue is that even though the spec sheet looked like it said M3, it is definitely not an M3 screw. So I have to, I think it's fine. I think it's just gonna be a super quick fix. I think I can just widen these holes and the solution is solved and everything's fine. But it, you know, that's just a small loss right there. Whatever.
I finished the adapters for the load cells, and I was waiting for the rolling mill to arrive in the mail so that way I could guarantee that it fit. However, it was still in the mail. So what I did was I drove to the local steel yard and I bought some steel members and I started prepping them to weld them into the main frame. Yeah.
All right, so even though we got the steel, we bought the steel, and you think that we can just take it to the machine shop immediately. We cannot take it to the machine shop immediately, because this is what it looks like when it's clean. That's how it looks when it comes from the vendor. It's all dirty and crap. I mean, look at my hands. Jeez Louise, like my phone's gonna be dirty for years. But it's dirty, so we gotta clean it, which means lots of scrubbing and spraying and scrubbing and spraying. This is the third one. We got 2 clean ones, and we got 1 more dirty one. So hopefully we're able to get into the machine shop today. If not, I don't know, I'll do it tomorrow, I suppose. Yay!
After I cleaned all of the members, I needed to print out my drawings to bring down to the machine shop, because without an engineering drawing, the machinist won't let you cut anything. So cut to me printing all of my drawings.
Oh, the printer. We're gonna print. Gotta sign in. Gotta sign in. Gotta sign in. Wait. Don't look. Don't look at my information. Don't do it. Hiding it. Can't see it. Oh, I just dropped all my coins on the floor. Why am I doing this one-handed? There has to be a better way to do all this. Oh, look at my coin. Wow, I really hope my ID wasn't in this at all. That'd be so bad. Okay. Files to print. All of the files. Print. Sweet. Oh, that one. Printing. Yay. Right. First person to tell me what's wrong with this drawing wins a point. They only printed 1/2 of my drawing, which is probably fine. All my information is on that 1/2 of a drawing, but god damn it, son of a bitch. Whatever. I'm gonna bring it to the machine shop. We'll see if they're okay with it. Fuck it. It's getting loud in here. Gotta walk all the way over here and show them the chaos that is my homework. Let's see. Look what happened to my drawings.
That's fine.
They're fine?
Yeah.
They're all like that. They're fine? Alright, we're gonna do it. Alright, smash cut to all these being cut except for one right now. They're cut. We got all of them. And then we just gotta mill them, which is gonna be fun. Can't wait. We're gonna do a test fit to make sure they all lay, and we got some scrap. So we have dimensions here that don't mean anything relative to my part. So what I do is I take this and I touch here and I cut a tiny bit off. And then I tell it that that's my 0. And then I go to the other side of my part and I start cutting on this side until this gives me exactly 12.5. Why 12.5 when my dimensions clearly say 12? Well, because my bit here has a certain radius, and the radius is 0.5, or diameter is 0.5. So when I go on this side, in order to guarantee that this is 12, this needs to be 12.5, and I just shave it off until it is. And then I put it over here and add it to my collection of perfect ones and keep working on my unperfect ones. Thumbs up. I just want to get a video of how much this smokes while I square it up. Check it out. Here we go. It's gonna smoke more than usual because I can't lube it in real time, but check it out. It's like the least amount of smoke I've seen all day, but it happened, whatever, I don't care. Oh, this is going well. Oh, did we do it? Almost. I need to do my job. Do my job again. Oh, nice. That's supposed to happen. All right, now there's no way you can hear me, but we're gonna sandblast all the pieces in here so that way they're easier to weld. I'm gonna do that now. There's really no way to, it's not cool because you can't really see it, but I got gloves in there and we're just gonna sandblast away. Here we go.
A few moments later.
You can see that this is now sandblasted, just like its brothers. All lined up in a row. There's those. There's all these. This one is sandblasted all the way through because it needs to be welded into the middle. These are all sandblasted. They're ready to weld. Ready to weld, ready to weld. We got some spare material back there just in case. And I may or may not have dropped that one in the sandblaster and ran around the place like a chicken with my head cut off trying to find it. But we're good. Do I look cool? I don't feel cool. We're gonna do the bottom frame first. I'm gonna tack it up and weld it. I'm gonna do it next to Baja. That's next year for me. And we're just gonna start with this little guy, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I kind of fucked up, like pretty bad. Like this is gonna take a lot of time to fix. On that side, the holes are on that side, right? You can see that? On this side, they're on the top. And that's not how it's supposed to be. This one's supposed to be 90 degrees. And I also really shittily welded it fully on. So we're gonna get an angle grinder and try to undo that, turn it 90 degrees, and re-weld this piece to fix it. So we're trying our best to angle grind this weld undone so we can fix it. And we're trying to attack this guy, and then the big shop guy left to get the bigger shop guy to truly actually fix this and make it right. I'm really stressed out. Like, of course I'd fuck that up. Of course I would. Why am I stupid? Fuck me. Despite all my anxiety, we got it going. The top is all welded and grinded and ready to roll, and these are all tacked up with nowhere to go. Fuck yeah. Now, we're gonna get the bottom half that I welded last time, put it on the bottom, take those members over there, put the mill on it, line it all up, and then it's gonna be great. Yay! All right, that's what it's gonna look like. The top isn't welded to the bottom, and thank God it's a little not aligned right now, but that's nothing we can't fix. That's nothing we can't fix. And look, I think it's about the right size. Here, let's see how this looks. I don't know if you can see it. You definitely won't be able to see it there. Here. Shit. That, I don't care. That's how good it's gonna have to be. That's pretty good. Crank it here, comes out there. Fuck yeah, dude. This is great. Everything's good. Thumbs up. While I was welding all those parts, the mill itself arrived in the mail. And I also found somebody who would engrave the rollers for me at a discount, since he was a hobbyist penny press collector as well, and he had a pretty high watt super laser thing. So, cut to me getting the penny press and figuring all that out. All right, it's incredibly heavy, but the top of it is not red. That's just the wrapping on it. But it was in there, now it's there. Check it out. They're even clean too. Nice. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. There she is. All ready to rock. I'm gonna run around and see if I can find a penny to do a test squish. But hell yeah, looks good, looks great. All right, after concluding testing, we got a few pennies that I throw on the floor and is gone forever.
We have a few other pennies that kind of worked. Like this is kind of squished, but not really. You could probably pass this off as actual currency. We have a really good one. I think this is probably what I'm gonna base all my measurements off of, Focus. This one's really good. And this is a perfect world penny, but this took multiple passes to get down to this size. So we'll see how it goes. The biggest issue I had right now with squishing these is that this isn't actually bolted down to anything, so you could just lift this up and move it while you were squishing the penny. So obviously that's lost forces, but we'll see. Right now, I think I'm going to use these two as measurements and send it to the guy who's going to engrave these rollers. So I need to take apart this mill and yeah, get the roller out. All right, now the beautiful mill is all in pieces and spread out around here. I have to clean it up, but here's the roller. The roller is ready to be shipped out and engraved, so I'm gonna do that now. And then I'm also going to do my best to clean all this up so that way I don't get yelled at by the people over there who are in charge. I'm just kidding, they're very kind. But that's the plan now. Yay. So I'm running late to my system dynamics class, but I just assembled the mill and the roller is in this package. So we're gonna ship it after class and hopefully get it engraved over spring break. I also have a handful of test pennies, so hopefully I can give them really good dimensions to engrave it by, and hopefully everything works. Because if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But so far it's going good. Yeah. It's a big day. It's all tack welded up. We're gonna, this is the visual inspection to make sure I didn't fuck it up. I don't even care if I did. Some of these welds look like an amateur did it, which they did, but I don't even care. It's there, it's working. It's not even that wobbly, all things considered. You can't even really see it on video. Fuck yeah, dude. And people are gonna drop their penny in, boop, and then they're gonna, oh, that's so cool, dude, thank you. And then, you know, thousands of hours of work will be justified. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Welding time. Hopefully this time I don't weld in a way that's backwards and upside down and wrong. But I shouldn't, because everything's tack welded now. So I should be able to just send it. All right, here's the frame. I did my best to hide my horrible welds by grinding it out, because a good welder always grinds. That's not true. Never repeat that to anyone who's an actual welder. But these are all smoothed out, so hopefully I can put the polycarbonate sheets on it. It's strong enough to support me, so should be good.
All right, I need to transition into this video, which I don't really have right now, but basically, when I finished up welding the frame, the only thing that I could do until the rollers arrived was test fit stuff.
Right in there is my load sensor and the load sensor adapter. So this is what came with the mill. This is the load sensor. Sorry, that's the load sensor. That's the load sensor adapter. And there's the screw on the top. And you can see that as I move it, it'll push this up and down. And if this was plugged into something, which it's not right now, but if it was plugged into something, you would be able to see the readings. Isn't this a good shot? Thumbnail.
Okay, so at this point in the story, there's a pretty important thing that happened. I could very easily skip over it because it didn't really impact the end product at all, but in the moment, it felt like the end of the world. It was terrible. So I spent all this time and all this money finding somebody to engrave the roller. And finally, this guy was communicating with me. He did it at a discount. This guy is super professional, super kind. And I finally got the package back from him, and it was freaking empty. It looked like it was ripped open, and it looked like somebody might have taken it. And I tried to call the post office. I tried to call the school mailing system. I tried to do everything I could to get it and find it, or at least figure out what went wrong. But at the end of the day, it was just gone. So it was a really terrible moment, scared the crap out of me. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I reached back out to the guy who engraved the roller, and he said, if you can get me another roller, I'll do it for free. Thank God. You know, this guy is amazing. He's been super helpful. And as you can see here, I got the roller engraved, and I put it together, and I started doing some tests, and, you know, I'll jump back into the videos here. I just felt like I needed to at least mention that part of the story. I didn't record a lot of videos while I was trying to figure that out because it was so terrifying and stressful, but I just felt like I should talk about it. Alright, I couldn't help myself. I did one test before I recorded it, and it looked pretty good. So let me show you how it works. You grab your penny. It's a penny, take my word for it. This is gonna have acrylic in it, but for now, I just have to line it up by hand. And then you just crank it. It's a little harder than I anticipated, so maybe only the big, strong adults will be able to do it. Now check that out. Okay, let's get better lighting. Let's get way better lighting. Now check that out. Wait, focus. Focus on, focus. I don't know why it's not focusing. Alright, now that I knew that the mechanism was working correctly, I just needed to get the penny press ready for OpenSauce. So the first thing we did was we CNC'd these polycarbonate panels and made sure all the holes lined up and mounted it onto the assembly itself. Then I put in the electronics, made sure that the sensors were reading and displaying the information correctly, which it was, of course it was. Then I took this awesome photo for OpenSauce. I definitely needed a haircut back then, but who cares? That's only permanently on the OpenSauce website now. Then I put this big red arrow on it because I found that people's intuition was to, do it the wrong way, which would cause the mechanism to get jammed. So the arrow works, 50% of the time, but that's better than nothing. Then I made this big banner so that way people walking by OpenSauce could see all the different designs and make a cool little souvenir, and they knew what they were doing. I'm pretty proud about how that came out. I like it a lot. Then we packed that all in the back of a small Subaru and road tripped across the country to OpenSauce.
So, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Alien Fresh Jerky, but it's in the borderline middle of nowhere, and it's totally themed out the wazoo, but then they're building a new hotel, so this is going to be a UFO hotel, and in the back they have a convention center. I'm just saying, man. OpenSauce 2025 question mark maybe?
For memories
I
and
wanna video the. We did it.
we got our tickets.
We have the exhibitor pass.
Sorry, Rob.
All of us.
Sorry, Rob.
Okay.
Sorry, Rob. Sorry, Rob.
Now we're gonna unload that thing and put it in that hall. Oh my God! Careful.
So you can imagine how from this point on, things started moving really quickly. As soon as we were there, we were setting up, we were getting messages from moderators on the Discord, and we were trying to coordinate everything at once. So I don't have a lot of videos. I got a few really cool ones I want to show off, but I'm going to try my best to make this smooth from this point on. Before we even got there, we got a message from one of the moderators on the Discord asking if we could show up a little bit early and set up on Thursday instead of Friday. We were like, hell yeah. And then when we got there, we were told that they were going to have a news segment and they were going to do a panning shot of all of the exhibits and just kind of, William's going to talk about some stuff and then you're going to head out. What we didn't know is it was going to be a live segment where William interacted with the penny press machine. So we very quickly ran to get everything all together, getting everything set up, getting everything going. And as I'm setting it up, I remember this so vividly. I'm sitting there on my knees trying to figure this thing out. A few of the parts were disassembled for travel, so I'm bolting it all together. And as I'm doing that, William comes up to me and goes, "Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck this up for me." And I was like, "Hi, idol." Like what the heck is going on right now? But we laughed about it and I got it working, and here is the clip from the news segment.
Okay, and then we're moving on to
Students from Colorado who built a penny press machine, custom for OpenSauce.
Oh, like what you see at the fair.
Yep,
okay.
exactly. You put a penny in and some other money, but this one's different because it shows you how much force was exerted on the penny.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and then it engraves something.
Yep.
And you got the OpenSauce logo on there. That's super cool. So, college students from Colorado.
Yes,
go Bucks. Oh, okay. Represent.
And that's pretty much the end of the penny press's story that year. We showed it off at OpenSauce. I took a bunch of photos. I'm not really sure how to compile those into the video for you. So maybe now they pop up in the video. Bam, that one. Bam, that one. Bam, another one. That one stays on the screen a little longer for some reason. What about this one? Bam, whatever, stuff like that. Overall, we had an amazing time at Open Sauce that year. We were at the Cow Palace, so, you know, it's a bit of an older venue, but overall, we had a really great time. This year at Open Sauce 2025, I exhibited a completely different project just because I wanted to bring in as many people in my engineering group as possible to work on one project. But I think next year I'll bring back the penny press machine. I'm hoping that this video gets enough views to kind of like justify going on another road trip out there, because I'll be paying out of pocket this time. But, you know, thanks for watching the video. This is obviously very amateur. This is my first time ever editing a video on, you know, a real editing software, not just like, you know, iMovie Maker or something like that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with it to the end. And hopefully I make another video and you guys watch that one too. So, you know, thanks for watching.